Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so we have the TEQ Kale and Caulifla finally EZA'd. We're here live on stream. We just beat the 30 stage, gotta love 30 stage EZA events, but we've got these guys fully EZA'd, level 140 SA 15, and we are going to check them out. Obviously these guys are an infinite stacker in their base form. They greatly raise attack and defense and do immense damage to the enemy. Then we've got their basic effects: 200% attack and defense, launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super, and then they have a high chance to dodge, which is obviously 50%. For 4 turns from their entry turn, they have an extra 20% chance to dodge. So for the first 4 turns, or their first 2 appearances, they have 70% chance to dodge. For every attack performed, they get attack and defense 40% up to 160. So they need to attack 4 times in order for that to build up from their passive. So we're going to see that combined with the fact that they greatly raise. Their stats are going to jump up in the first couple of turns. And then when you have another Universe Survival Saga ally in the same turn, or a Universe Survival Saga enemy, they get an extra 60% attack when attacking and a guaranteed additional super, which obviously very, very good for stacking. Every time they perform 3 or more attacks, their chance to dodge goes up by 20% with their next attacking turn. So basically on this first turn, because we're going to have a Universe Survival Saga ally for them, they are going to get 3 attacks every turn, which means they get an extra 20% dodge on their next turn, which, considering this being active as well, on their second turn they're going to have a 90% chance to dodge, which is kind of crazy. And then obviously we can fuse into Kefla starting from the 6th turn. So we can see we're running a Universe Survival Saga team with the double Vegetas, because I don't have hit all the Part 2 Kale and Caulifla. He obviously gives them a full 220 lead. We're running TEQ Caulifla. They share 6 out of 7 links, which is pretty good. So yeah, let's just go ahead and see how we get on. So bear in mind, turn 1, we're starting off at 280k defense, which is obviously not a lot at all. But yeah, we'll see what they're going to be looking like on the second turn, bearing in mind we're starting at 280k. This is a good event to do to test them out, because obviously they're a stacker. We want to see like what their numbers get up to and how quickly they get up to those numbers. So this is a good event to do, because obviously we can run TEQ Caulifla in slot 1 here and just have a unit that's always going to dodge this Vegeta super attack, and then that gives the Kale and Caulifla a chance to start stacking up. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. So they're going to start off as attack wise. Okay, 8.3 million, obviously nothing too crazy, but the big boost is going to come from these first 4 attacks with that build up from their passive. So yes, they go from 8, then they did a normal, then they're at 13. Get the hidden potential as well. Nice. That jumps them up to 16.6. So yeah, they attacked 4 times in this turn. So that's their passive, like, fully maxed out already, which is good. Now it'll be very interesting to see what their turn 2 defense is going to look like, because they got their full 4 attacks off in the first turn. Just double check that again, because it is attacks and not supers for the passive, isn't it? For every attack performed, yeah. So they fully built up their passive in the first turn. Of course, typically we have a terrible second rotation, because I bought both TEQ Cauliflas, but one of them's on the other turn, so that's great. And he always supers in slot 1. What do these guys have on their first turn? They have the extra thing, don't they? 50%. That's only 50%. Oh well, let's do this. Typical that we got a bad starting rotation, because literally all we needed was for the other TEQ Caulifla to be on this turn, and it would have been the perfect start, but it is what it is. In fact, I don't want to do too much damage with these guys, so the dodge is 50% in their base, then they get an extra 20% for 4 turns, so it'll be 70%. And then if they do 3 attacks, they get an extra 20% on their next turn. So they were on turn 1. Remember that the turns that they're not on count as well, right? So when it says that they get like an extra 20% dodge for 4 turns, this is the second turn, even though they're not on this rotation. So when they come back again, it will be the third turn. That's why I was saying, if something has a passive that is like for 4 turns, it basically means 2 appearances. Because they'll be on turn 1, then they'll be on turn 3. Or they'll be on turn 2, and then turn 4. And then if you float them off, they're on turn 1 and turn 4. So that's still 4 turns. But once they've had their second appearance, that extra 20% will go away. But yeah, if they attack 3 times in their first turn, which they pretty much always will, they always will if you have a Universe Survival Saga ally, because they'll do their initial attack, the one from the passive that has a 50% chance to be a super, and then they'll get a guaranteed additional super from having a Universe Survival Saga ally. So basically they'll always attack for at least 3 times. And then on the next turn, they get the extra 20% again. So for their second appearance, while they've still got that original little extra buff for the 4 turns, so on this turn, they have 90% chance to dodge, which is pretty crazy. So we're at what, 280 turn 1? Okay. 1.8. They went from 280k to 1.8 million by getting that full, like the 4 attacks for their passive to be maxed out. And yeah, 3 supers, which were each, of course, a greatly raise. That's ridiculous. 1.8 on the second turn. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. Now, obviously, the increase isn't going to be as much this time because their passive is already fully built out. So they're not going to get that 40% extra attack per attack anymore. So we're not going to see as much of a jump between turn 2 and turn 3 for them. But it'll be interesting to see how much that does still increase. So bearing in mind they're at 1.8. Let's see what they get up to. Also, it is actually very beneficial for us. Like the Caulifla is doing 0 damage because then it just gives us more turns and more opportunities to stack with Kale and Caulifla. But yeah, that's insanely high. In Bota Magetta is not very good anymore, unfortunately. Universe 6 team is just really not all that. Alright, so the one from their passive, of course, is just a normal again. Then the guaranteed additional super. So they're already up to 21. That's only their 5th super of the entire fight, and they're at 21 million now. And the hidden potential, unfortunately, only being a normal. Because once their passive is fully built up, hidden potential normals are just not doing anything for us because they're not stacking. So it doesn't really make much of a difference. Do I need to use the Ghost Usher again, or can I exchange into Goku on this turn? I can exchange into Goku on this turn. And Goku eats the super here, right? Go ahead and do that. Because my Goku Frieza is only 69%, but with all those orbs and the rainbow orbs, yeah, it takes double-digit damage. Nice. But yeah, a lot of the older older Universe 6 characters are just not really usable anymore. Like Int Bota Magetta, like the Int Hit, who's EZA. At the time that those random Universe 6 EZAs happened, the Int Hit one seemed like it was okay, but that's the big problem with now being in the post-anniversary power creep meta. A lot of these older units just don't cut it anymore, right? Let's put on the one of the actual Kale and Caulifla OSTs here. Okay, so remember they were at 1.8 million, and then they did what, 2 supers. So I think I did see somebody say that Rainbow, they're raising about 300k per super, so If they're at like 2.4, then that's about right. Yeah. Freezer on 17, obviously post-attacking a super tanky, so... Okay. So it was 1.8, now it's, yeah, 2.6. So they've gone up by, well, they've gone up by about 800k. They also have prepared for battle now with Vegeta, so both of those two supers in the previous turn both gave them about an extra 400k defense. So that's pretty good. Grab one of those. Grab those for you. But yeah, so bear in mind that like every turn, because now the 4-turn 20% has run out, but we're still going to keep getting every single turn they're going to have the extra 20%, because every previous turn they've attacked 3 times. So not only do they have 2.6 million, but they also have 70% chance to dodge. Yeah, they're at 23 million attack stat now. We need a turn where they, the first additional from their passive is actually a super. There we go. 24.5. Then they get a guaranteed additional super. So bear in mind, from what we've been seeing with them getting about 400k, they should be at what, like 3.8 at the beginning of the next turn, something like that. Which is insane. I'm about to try this Vegeta with the full Universe 6 team. Yeah, if you have double TEQ Kaleefla, it is quite easy, because TEQ Kaleefla in slot 1 on both turns, and then he always supers in slot 1. So basically, you can just never get you can never get supered. That's the key strat, having the 2 TEQ Kaleeflas. But yeah, I mean, they're certainly stacking up very quickly. I guess we'll do this and just be floating the blue Kaikens. Blue Kaiken, blue Evos even. Yeah, how is the Int Carber EZA? Like, why they didn't do the Int Carber sub EZA at the same time, I will never understand. Like, Universe 6, as we've said many times, like, these guys are clearly very good. I think it's evident already, even from the short, well, I say short, it's been, what, 13 minutes? The short amount of time we've seen them in this video, like, they're clearly very good. But just getting one good new unit is, like, not enough to save that team, right? So they should have EZA'd Int Carber at the same time, because he's the banner unit for these guys. So he would use the same medals. So they could have easily just done the thing where they added in a mission that was like beat stage 30 of the TEQ Kale and Caulifla EZA, and you get the extra set of medals that you can then use to immediately EZA Int Carber. Because that's exactly what they did with the one for Pycon, which you remember, where you got a mission for beating it that just gave you the medals to EZA Physical Super Kaioken and STR Pycon. So they could have very easily just done that. And then Int Carber would be another addition to the Universe 6 team. But yeah, 3.6 million. Now obviously at this point we could fuse into Kefla, but I think we'll do like one more turn of stacking here, because obviously this is the first turn where they could fuse. But is STR, no, yes, does STR Frost have an EZA? Yeah, he does. I'm pretty sure he does. He's just not very good. Because I think when I talked about that, I made that video the other day about how can they save the Universe 6 category, and we talked about like the only units that don't have EZAs, and I don't remember. I mean, we definitely didn't mention STR Frost, so I'm pretty sure he already has one. The only Universe 6 characters that don't have EZAs is like TEQ Frost AGL Kale, now Int Kaba, and then like a bunch of free-to-play characters, I'm pretty sure, are like the only Universe 6 characters that don't have EZAs now. 27.2. $28.4. Remember, when you do eventually fuse into Kefla, she still stacks attack. So 29.5. Yeah, was that the? Did we just get the quad super turn? But yeah, they build up so quickly. It's ridiculous. I mean, straight away, just from like turn 1, going from 200k defense to, what was it, 1.8 million. With a 90% chance to dodge on that turn as well. So even in an event like Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, right, where turn 2 is going to be hitting a bit harder, or turn 3, because obviously if they're on turn 1, their second turn will be turn 3. 1.8 million defense and a 90% chance to dodge. Still, I guess, risky for slot 1, because if they don't dodge, the enemy supers in that event do more than like 2 million damage. But in slot 2, once they've then got their attacks off again, and then have an even bigger buff, obviously then they're even better. So not getting a lot of orbs for Vegeta, so he's not getting a lot. And this is without the Carnival Universe 6 active skill support, yep. Yeah, they don't have any crit built in, so giving them crit inhibitor potential is good. They don't need guard or damage reduction, like when their defense is this high. And with a 70% chance to dodge. I mean, I guess there are some events, to be fair, like, where, like, if we got supered by Jiren, but I suppose it depends like what turn you're getting to him as well, because yeah, if we got supered by Jiren at the point they're at now, like they would still obviously get killed by his super attack, although they do have a 70% chance to dodge. Jiren, is it both the Jiren fights disable dodge? Because yeah, it's the phase before that does rotation locking, isn't it? And then it's the one after with against the actual Jiren that has the dodge disable. But I guess the trade-off is like, by the time you get to Jiren, you've stacked up enough and then you transform into Kefla. But yeah, on the Universe 6 like Carnival team, I mean, I know the rest of the team's not very good, but like on the Universe 6 Carnival team where you have double LR Kale and Caulifla, and then you use the Caulifla active skill, which is the permanent buff to Universe 6 characters, like that's going to be crazy. Jeez. Okay, so they've supered 12 times. They're at 5.3 million defense. So I'm pretty sure they like can't take damage from this Vegeta now anyway, which is insane. So let's go ahead and fuse into Kefla now. So obviously we could keep stacking for forever, but obviously we don't want the video to be insanely long. But yeah, that's such a giant leap, like, each time as well. 5.2 million defense they're at now. That's crazy. So let's go ahead and fuse into Kefla.
Put me and Kale together, and what do you get? The strongest Saiyans around. Kale, the Caulifla, it's Kefla.
Alright, so Kefla. Her super attack, like I say, still raises attack, greatly raise, and then she greatly raises defense for 1 turn, does immense damage. Now you can see, start of turn, she's at 1.8 million. Now, you get a 60% HP recovery 1 time only when you fuse. Then you've got 200% attack and defense, launch 2 additional supers guaranteed, 70% chance to dodge, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to TEQ. When she attacks, she gets 200% attack. When she receives an attack, she gets 200% defense. That's the important thing that I think people were like overlooking, right, when we saw the details for her kit. Because if we put this into the number into the calculator, right, so her defense is 1880340, and then plus 200%. So when she gets hit, her defense immediately jumps to 5.6 million. So she has 5.6 million defense. So realistically, if we had like one more turn of stacking, Kefla's defense would be over 6 million in slot 1, which means she would be able to just eat Jiren's super attack for breakfast. She does also have tournament participants' allies 30% attack up, and then an extra 30% defense for Universe 6 characters when she attacks if you get 6 orbs. So you need to get 6 orbs in slot 1 for her to then give that support. I mean, we've got to put her in slot 1, right, and try out the... her links do change, so she now has like Super Saiyan, Fused Fighter, Power Bestowed by God, so she gets less links active with Caulifla, but that is what it is. I mean, the funny thing is she's on the 220% leader skill for TEQ Vegito, but obviously you do need to make sure, like in the early stages, because you want to get those stacks as much as possible, you do want to make sure you've got a Universe Survival Saga ally for her. But yeah, there's the dodge. Okay, well, she just dodged the super anyway. Now remember, she also greatly raises, and her start of turn defense is 1.8 million. So when she supers, she gets 900k extra defense. And she supers 3 times. So by the time she's done supering, and then gets hit, her defense is going to be what, like over 8-9 million potentially. Because I mean, the 50, well, actually the greatly raised thing always kind of throws me off, right? Because is it 50% of her actual start of turn defense, which is 1.8, or is it like a different number that doesn't include like a certain number of the stacks or something? I've always been confused about how that works exactly. But here she goes, just multiple supers, 30 million. But yeah, you definitely want to give her crit in the hidden potential, because... Okay, so we finally took a hit, but at that point, like I say, our defense is increased by such an insane amount. Oh yeah, and the 30% defense when attacking because of the support which she's giving to Universe 6 allies, which includes herself, because it doesn't say self-excluded, does it? So yeah, like her defense is just insane. I think that's one of the things that people always miss with these kind of characters, is when you just press the button to look at the, like, to bring up the team menu, and you see the start of turn defense, and then the number that you see there, people think like, oh, that's, you know, that's not high enough. But yeah, she gets the 30% defense when attacking with the 6 orbs as well. But yeah, 200% defense when taking a hit. So she was at 1.88 at the start of turn, which, as we said, we did the calculation right here with the calculator. As soon as she takes the first hit of the turn, she goes up to 5.6 million. And then if she gets to attack first, then it goes up even higher than that, which is ridiculous. Alright, so let's do this. Oh, no rainbow orb for Goku is, maybe we'll do that. There's still no rainbow orbs. Actually, his active skill changes, is it physical orbs to rainbow, so we'll just do that. Not that it matters, I'm pretty sure he just tanks normals regardless after supering, because once he gets to actually attack, he's fine. But yeah, so Kefla is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously she stops stacking once you transform, so that's like the big thing, depending on the event that you're doing. Like, you can choose to stay in the Kale and Caulifla form if you can keep them. I mean, they had, what, 5-point-something million defense on that previous turn, so most events, they're going to be fine post-super. Because even if we were already at, like, Jiren at that point, for example, in that stage, we could just put them in slot 2. We know they're going to get at least 2 supers, so that 5.6 million is going to go up over 6 million. And so then the AGL Jiren especially, because they have type advantage, even if he then supers them in slot 2, like, he's not going to do any damage to them. And then that's the only thing you can see the big drop, like the fact they get up to like 5.6 million as Kale and Caulifla, and then when you fuse into Kefla, they drop down to 1.8. But yeah, she still stacks attack post super. But yeah, the important thing is she stops stacking defense. So that's the big thing you have to think about in terms of like when you want to transform her. But and then yeah, she has 70% chance to dodge. So on the last turn, she just dodged. Yeah, I want to see her get hit by the super to see her take double-digit damage, but she's just gonna dodge. So and then get 31 million attack stat. She's going to do at least 2 more of these, right? And then we could get the hidden potential 4th one. So 31 goes to 32. It's not a giant raise each time, like up to 32.8. And then we go to 33.9. So yeah, she basically just gets about just over 1 million with each, right? 1 million attack stat with each extra super. But yeah, that's what I mean. She gets 200% when she gets hit. So if she already does the supers first, you have to think like 1.8 million. Then she gets 50% extra when she supers 3 times. Which if that is going to... I don't know, again, if that is exactly how it works. But if that's adding 900k each time, that means after she does 3 supers, she's at 4.5 million. And then plus 200%. Then when she takes the first hit, she'd be at 13.5 billion. So I don't think that's how it works in terms of the greatly raised. If anybody knows, they can let me know, like in the chat or in the comments of the video. But when it comes to the greatly raised defense, is it just 50% of her start of turn defense? Because if it is, and she's getting 900k defense every time she supers, like, that's insane. I mean, I guess we'll get like 1 more turn in, because we don't... Vegeta's got a lot of health, so the fight could go on for a while longer still, but... Obviously we want to... We've seen quite a lot of Kefla. STR Kefla can still be okay, but she is dodge or die against like the toughest fights, so... It's one of those things that you can get away with using characters like that, but there is nothing more annoying than when you get like most of the way through doing a difficult event, and then, you know, especially if it's taken 20-25 minutes, and then like STR Kefla doesn't dodge and you die. It's pretty annoying. Won't be an issue with Kefla though. It's 50% of what her start of turn would be if she had 0 stacks. Yeah, which unfortunately that like there's no way for us to know what that is. I mean, I guess there is a formula to work it out, right? Because it would just be her, once she's transformed into Kefla, whatever those stats are with the leader skill multiplier or something, right? Oh yeah, most UIs are dodge or die now as well. Well, that's the problem with the Universe Survival Saga, or like reps of Universe 17, is that like basically all of the slot 1s are essentially just UI Gokus, who, if they don't dodge later on in the fight, get you killed. It's definitely not a it's not a unique to Kefla situation, but yeah. STR Kefla. I mean, that's again remember that she gets 30% when attacking because of her support, which applies to herself as well, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, obviously, like, I didn't pull Kale and Caulifla, but she dodged the super again. But we'll test out, like, with the private server, we'll do some builds, like, with her on the full Universe 16, because just imagine what she's going to look like with the double Caulifla, like, active skill, with the 2 permanent buffs to stats. Like, that's going to be, she's going to be ridiculous. I mean, she already is crazy. Like, you need a Universe Survival Saga ally to get those extra supers early on as Kale and Caulifla, but like, yeah, very viable option, especially for the Universe Survival Saga team with the Vegetas, because obviously everyone on the team is doing that. The TEQ Vegito team be a bit more interesting, I don't know who the best, like the most optimal people to run on like a TEQ Vegio team with her to be the Universe Survival Saga ally. Obviously, if you're fighting a Pure Saiyan or Universe Survival Saga enemy that doesn't disable dodge, you could always just use TEQ Kaleefla because one of Vegito's 170 leads is Pure Saiyans. So I mean, I think not having crit's not like the end of the world, especially considering at least it's finally a unit that actually, like, their best build in the hidden potential is crit. So you basically just want to give this unit full crit and then the rest into additional. They don't need any dodge because their defense is going to be so high, and they have 70% chance to dodge pretty much every turn anyway. In fact, the base TEQ Kale and Caulifla have 70% dodge turn 1, then they'll have 90% dodge turn 2, and then from turn 3 onwards they're going to have 70% dodge every turn because they always do at least 3 attacks. So bearing in mind that this unit not only stacks up to like insane levels of defense, but basically always has 70% chance to dodge, like you don't really need to give them dodge in the hidden potential. So their best hidden potential build is just full crit and then the rest into additional. Yeah, to figure out, you'd have to go through it. Well, no, the way to do it would just be to take her card, like look at her card, what is her defense, then add in like the multiplier for the leader skill, so it'd be like 440%, and then anything she gets from links or whatever, and then that's her like start of turn defense with no stacks. I mean, I guess you'd take out links as well, but Jaren's saying Kelps people said it's around 300k. So I mean, let's say it's around 300k, right? So 1.8 million start of turn with the stacks that we got here. Let's say she is getting 300k. She does 3 supers guaranteed, so that's 900k. We won't even add in the hidden potential. That would take her to 2.7, which means then when she gets hit, if she dodges all the attacks in slot 1, does 3 supers and then gets hit, she would go to 8.1 million defense, which means there is not a single red zone boss super attack or battle hardened formidable foes super attack that would actually be able to kill her. It's pretty crazy, because I think even the, wasn't it the Countdown Golden Freezer that was in the movie bosses one from a while back? Doesn't his Countdown super only do like 8 million or something? I say only, but yeah, that means that after getting her supers off, like this current TEQ Kefla with the number of stacks that she got before he transformed, like her here exactly as she is now on this team, on this rotation, post super, she would tank an 8 million damage super attack. Which is, I mean, I don't know about you, I would say that that's pretty good. I still want to see her actually eat the super from Vegeta, but she just keeps dodging it, which, I mean, that's obviously good, but I just want to show that she would actually tank it, but she just keeps dodging it, so she's too good. She's at 38 million now, which means by the time she's done her 3 supers on this turn, she's going to be at 40 million. Which is pretty crazy. So yeah, I mean, there you go. TEQ Kaleefla and Kale fusing into Kefla. Absolutely crazy. Probably the best EZA TUR now, I would say. I mean, they're going from turn 1, like 200k, to 1.8 million on turn 2 is pretty crazy. And then yeah, just imagine her now with like the double physical LR Caulifla like buff. That was just going to be ridiculous. So we'll do that for a video, but yeah, absolutely crazy. And then yeah, she just dodges everything half the time as well. So absolutely insane EZA. This is what we want to see, right? This is something I mentioned in, it was either the video yesterday or something we talked about in one of the streams, but like this is what we want to see, right? This kind of level of quality from EZAs. This is what we want to see going forwards for like the rest of the year. We don't want these like, you know, physical super Kaioken. I mean, I know they're only banner units and not Dokkan Fests, but we don't want any of these lackluster EZAs. Keep those AGL Bardocks away, right? We want all the units to be getting EZAs on the level of TEQ Kale and Caulifla, because these guys are absolutely ridiculous. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. We will try them out on a bunch of different teams, but yeah, super, super good. let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.